your mouth, and you use the cheeks and the mouth air to blow about a 1.5 inch to 2 inch bubble. Then you're going to use your diaphragm and use all the air in your lungs to sort of blow it up evenly and go the whole way to the other end. It looks something like this, and you should stretch it a little bit as you're beginning to blow. In this case, we're going to leave about a 3-inch tip on the other end of it, and then it's necessary to tie the balloon, otherwise you'll lose all the air. You tie the balloon off like that. Now, the first animal that you're going to learn to do is the very, very basic, very simple dog. And the concept that we want to learn here is 3 inches. There are approximately 3 inches here on the tip of the balloon, and we're going to use 3 inches for everything else. Now, a good gauge of that is the approximate distance from this side of your palm to this side of your palm. So if you grab the balloon like this, pinch with your index finger and your thumb, and twist the remainder of the balloon back towards you about twice, that'll give you approximately a 3-inch bubble. If you take that and then place that sort of here so that you're holding it, bring your hand back once again to about 3 inches and make a twist like that, you end up with your second bubble. That is then held by the arm and the hand right back here, and you make your third 3-inch bubble. By bringing bubbles number 2 and 3 down and together, pinching those two together and twisting them one full turn, you end up with the head and the ears of your dog. Now the neck is the same 3 inches. You must hold that again against your chest. Make another 3-inch bubble, holding that against your chest, and another 3-inch bubble. When you bring bubbles number 5 and 6 back together and give them one full twist, you end up with the front legs of your dog. Once again, if you do the exact same thing, a 3-inch bubble, another 3-inch bubble, and another 3-inch bubble, and bring bubbles 8 and 9 back together, give them a twist, you end up with the hind legs of your dog. So you have the head and the ears here, your front legs and your hind legs. That's your basic dog balloon. If you want to make a second balloon out of that and make it look different, if you take the 2 front legs and put them down in between the 2 rear legs, you end up with your dog in a sitting position. If you then push them all the way through and bring them back forward again, you end up with your dog in a laying position. So now in approximately 30 seconds, we've learned how to do 3 different balloons. That's the basic dog. If you use exactly that same concept and take another balloon, in this case I'm going to use a pump to blow the balloon up because that makes it much easier for me. We're going to be here for quite some time. There are several different varieties of those available from wherever you buy your balloons. You can get little hand pumps that you pump them up, or big ones, or there are small electric pumps like I will be using here. So you'll hear kind of a funny little noise. Once again, we're going to leave approximately 3 inches on the end of the balloon. We'll tie it off. Once again, do not tie your balloon knots tight, and I'll show you why later. There's some very clever things that you can do. We'll start out again with the 3 inches, the approximate distance, as I said, across the palm. Pinch it and roll it twice. Holding it back against your chest, you put one hand there, the second hand here. That gives you an idea of about what 6 inches is, and you do the 6-inch twist like that. So now we have a 3-inch bubble and a 6-inch bubble. You'll do the same thing again to find out another 6 inches. That gives you 2 long 6-inch bubbles and a 3-inch bubble. If you bring bubbles 2 and 3 together and pinch and twist, you end up once again with the head and the face of the animal. In this case, what we're going to make is a rabbit. If you do a 3-inch or 4-inch bubble and another 3-inch bubble, and bring those 2 bubbles immediately back on themselves and twist them, that gives you the front legs of your animal. Come down approximately the same distance to here, squeezing the rest of the air out into the balloon and bringing it back around to make a loop, a simple loop like this, by now taking your front 2 legs and putting them down inside that loop, almost as we have done with a dog with a sitting position. You now have a rabbit. I believe that you also have to decorate these, and so I use a pen called a Sharpie. There are several other varieties of pens which will work very well, but I find the Sharpie ink does not break the balloons generally. And it also makes them much more lively for the children. So if you put just eyes, a couple of dots for a nose, and a little smiling mouth on it, it just kind of adds character to your balloon, and it completes it. We're going to start the next balloon off exactly as we did the first, with approximately 3 inches left at the end of the balloon when you blow it up and tie it. This time we're going to learn to make a dachshund or a wiener dog, if you will, starting out with the exact 3-inch bubble that we did before. When you do the first one, you hold it against your chest. When you do the second one, again to the chest. And when you do the third one, the second and third one are brought together like that. That gives you the head of the dog. We'll do the same thing again to get the front legs with the 3-inch bubbles, again holding them against your chest so that they don't unwind. And when you twist those twice, that gives you the whole entire front of your dog. We will now leave a section quite long, coming back to the back about 9 inches from the end, and we'll start once again doing the 3-inch bubbles. You bring those back together again and twist them, and it leaves you just a little tail and the wiener dog look. The nice part about this wiener dog is the wiener dog is somewhat convertible. If you take the head of the wiener dog and turn it around backwards, if you take the tail of the wiener dog and turn it around backwards, when you turn it up like this, it now is a giraffe. So you've learned once again to do 2 balloons with only 1 set of twists.